Yup. Yeah. No, it's all good. I figured right now. What do you mean? Oh yeah, that would have been nice. Nice. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. That works. So now you're gonna be up all night. So now you're gonna be up all night. Gotcha. I'm te- I'm testing out streaming because when I did it with the boy, it kept telling me audio problems. It said something about you can do this and you could do that, and I didn't understand what the hell it was talking about. And then when I spoke to Jay, she was telling me that um, got to go into the settings. So I went into the settings and I'm trying something, trying to see if I get an error or not because I was going at it for like 3 or 4 hours trying to go live. It's Friday. Yeah, I spent 3 hours trying to go live with Jay on Friday, and it worked to a degree, and I ended up having to delete that video because it was shit. The one that actually made it through had 5 viewers, but that's not why it was shit. It was just a shitty interaction between him and I. So right now I'm throwing up. I fixed the settings for it to go to stereo like it was asking. See what happens because it was on 5.1, which from my understanding that is stereo, but that's not. That's surround sound. I know that sounds like that don't make much sense, but it does because YouTube doesn't allow for 5.1 streaming, either mono or stereo. So there's a significant issue there. So I put it on stereo and I'm letting it run, see what it does. As we're talking right now, I'm talking through it and it's doing the whole live thing. And see, so far, I mean, by this point, I already got a notice of poor connection because it can only do mono and stereo, and so far, nothing. So I don't see any issues, and I know it's live because I kept changing the background on OBS, and the background is now moving lightning. So as long as that lightning and what I'm looking at keeps moving, because I'm watching my own stream. So as long as it keeps moving, then it's staying connected. You know what I mean? Like it's still live. There's no camera. It's just audio because I'm testing whether or not I go through that error again and if I fix it or not. Because I want to go live, which by the way I forgot to tell you about that. I want to go live next Friday. I'm starting to think that I want to do a video for Wednesday and live on Fridays. Again, as usual, it's up to you if you want to try to swing through with it. Last Friday or this Friday, it was 8 o'clock. Figuring 8 o'clock gives us plenty of time to run through our day and set up. I mean, it shouldn't be too much of a headache to set up, but it give us right around bedtime where everybody's starting to quiet down a bit, and maybe you got some free time. I know I do, so swing through it. Obviously today for tomorrow is a bust, but I'm still gonna throw one up anyway. So I'm gonna spend the rest of about, I don't know, probably half an hour to an hour seeing what this does. Because so far it still says excellent connection. I can't hear myself because I can hear myself. I know that sounds stupid, but I can hear myself in monitoring as well as if the video, the live stream, I can hear it. You know what I mean? So we can't tell which one's which. Yes, sir. Hmm. Well, if we're gonna anchor it in the dirt, the suggestion was we dig out the hole, put it in, and then put the dirt back down. I mean, you don't want it permanent. Well, that will definitely, because we're not digging in the concrete, so digging half in the dirt and half in the concrete, that's not going to work. So the only thing we're going to be able to do is peg it down. Peg should be there. The new one or the old one? You're talking about your new one, the 12 by 12 one? Because the 10 by, I know the 10 by 10 wasn't all that heavy, so I was making sure. Um, if you're gonna put it, if you're gonna put it half on the deck and half on the dirt, like I said, the only thing we can do is stake it down. Because it's gonna be off a little bit anyways, because the ground outside your deck isn't it slightly lower than the deck? Do you have some? You have wood flat enough? Because it's not much off, but it's off enough to say it's off. I mean, I guess you could always just put, well, yeah, you can fold up some cardboard, put it underneath it, but it's going to give us problems staking it down because it'll be so far away from the ground. I mean, how off do you are you worried about it being? All right, okay, nah, I got you. Yeah, that is problematic. All right, so would well, I'll try to be there by 8:30. Like I said, I got to swing this. Well, yeah, but I just got to swing this video tonight, and then it should be an easy edit job because I already have the editing down to a science at this point. I don't do anything tweaking to it. Essentially, I just put in, some touches so it's more personal. But for the most part, it's simple. I need to get an editor, but right now having an editor is expensive when you don't have. Uh, No, no, no. An editor is someone who does the work. Because I have ideas, but I'm not fully fluent in editing software. So there's a lot of tricks you can do, but I don't know them because I'm not the editor. But I can edit the video to make it a video, and whoop de doo. So need to find an editor, but like I said, without a channel making any income yet, there's no point in an editor. But then the problem is, without the editor, the channel doesn't make any income. Because yeah, wish I knew an editor. Yeah, it could be helpful. No, no, I get you. But if I don't care if the channel starts doing something, she's still gonna get some anyway. Because you know that's not how we give it up. You helped us get there. We're gonna help you get something in your pocket. So far, it's still. This is well past the normal time because I tried like I don't know 4 or 5 different times with Jay, and by this point, this is 3 4 videos in lengthwise, and it still hasn't shown me the error. So I think I fixed that issue. Um, so it looks like the next live won't have the conflict it was having before. So that works because I couldn't get Jay on the microphone with me because it wasn't working properly because it kept saying that stupid error and mono this and stereo that, and I'm like, whatever, that's not helping me. But it makes sense that YouTube wouldn't be able to explain it because YouTube isn't OBS. So only OBS could explain OBS issues because OBS was the issue. Because when we went live directly from the camera through YouTube, which allows us no tweaks, um, we had no problem, except I had to use a different camera. I figured it out, and I might have figured it out now with this. So we'll give it a swing on Friday if you're up for it. If you're not, I'm still gonna do a swing anyway. I told you right. The baby was pulled. Was I hate to use that term. I'm so angry. The baby was born on Friday or Saturday. I got some pictures. I'm not supposed to have them, but I don't care. Of the baby. I got one picture I think of Jeremy holding the baby. Yeah, he was real nervous, man. He thinks he's gonna be a horrible brother. He thinks she's not gonna like him. Try to tell him, dude, she ain't gonna know you yet to like you. You ain't got to worry about that right now. And she's gonna grow up knowing you, so it's very unlikely she's not going to like you. You're all she knows. So more than likely she's going to follow suit because that's all she's known. Pretty much. Pretty much. I try to explain that to him that all she's going to know, as long as you be the good brother you are, you're all she knows. So she's gonna think that that's okay, that's right, or that's the best thing. And don't get me wrong, it will be, but the fear of it not being accepted that way is not as heavy as it should. It's heavier than it should be to him. If it was something like Angie and AJ, that might be a different story. Because by the time AJ turns 12, he would be like almost 20 years old. There's no 20-year-old that really gets along with a 12-year-old, and the burden of being the bigger brother, that bigger, would probably be devastating. But now he's got only 12 years on him. So now, mind you, by the time he turns 12, he'll be 24. But Jeremy will help her, grow, and it will make up for the gap in time. And he has to understand that, and he will. It's just, he was nervous because, like, real quick, 'cause I know you need to get some sleep too. But he was given a choice to stay with me on Sunday and see his sister on Monday, or go home on Monday. Was basically what it is. He said he wanted to see his sister. He wanted to go there on Sunday, but he wanted to eat first. So he chose eating over seeing his sister because he was that nervous that he was willing to drag the clock out a little bit more because he was afraid. And I was like, buddy, she doesn't know her ass from her elbow. She's not even speaking. To her, you're just food. Fair enough. Yes, sir. No, pretty much. That's what I was telling you. But at this very point, all we are to children that age, just came out the womb, is food. All they want to do is suck on whatever we hand them and try to eat it. They're not worried about, oh, he doesn't wear the right sneakers, or he doesn't know how to dress. all, they, all they know is feed me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, definitely. He'll understand it. I mean, this is one of those things that is almost got to throw him to the wolves type situation. Because no matter what we tell him, it don't sink in. Yeah, until he walks in the door and she comes running up to him. Hey, big brother. Until that happens, I mean, he's gonna be paranoid, and there's nothing we could do about it because he's automatically self conscious as it is. And if he can swing this, maybe it can bring him out of that self consciousness. Because when you have a kid, and I know this is not his kid, but it's the same idea, it brings out something out of you that wasn't there before. Like, I was careless. I could care less on top of it before he was born. And after he was born, I became even more obsessed with analyzing things and making sure everything was right and making sure that he had what he needed the way he needed it. Like, it became a life, like, it had to be done. It had to be. I don't care what anyone says, I have to do it. Like, when I walked the diapers to him, I had to do that. And there was no one going to tell me otherwise. So it makes you step up in ways you would not have stepped up before. Now, like I said, we know this is his little sister, but it's the same idea because he's got to help raise her. That's what family does. When mommy's not looking, which is probably going to be most of the time, he's going to have to step up and make sure his sister doesn't do anything stupid. So essentially, he's going to help his mother and stepfather raise that child one way or another. So it brings something out of you now that you have to guard and protect someone for their life. You know, it brings you back to when we were on the street. We had to look out for one another. It wasn't a choice. It brought something out of us where we, out of all of them, did more surviving than they did. Like, we didn't sacrifice anything when we survived. And you tell me if I'm wrong, if you remember back in the day differently. Everyone else that was running around and running away wanted to be just like us or whatever the circumstances were. They had to beg, plead, bargain, make deals, do some shady shit to get help. I remember deals were made with Sean that I did not approve of for them to stay there at Sean's house. We never had to do that because being in our position made us step up to make sure we didn't have to do that. So this situation might make him step up and out of his shell because he's got to get out of that shell or his sister's going to pay the price for it. Just like if we didn't get out of our shell, we were going to pay the price for it. So we cracked the shell and we kept it moving. Hopefully he has the same spirit we do. He better. He's my damn son. Yeah. I mean, he just met his sister on Sunday. I can almost see him spending more time with her than doing his schoolwork, though. And I'm sure. Yeah, and the more it'll be. He'll walk into those shoes. I'm sure of it. I had to give him a little encouragement. Like, dude, you're just food to her. So don't worry about today. Just as long as you're her big brother, she will always follow in your footsteps. Whether mommy agrees or disagrees or not, she's gonna look up to you more than mommy or daddy. Yeah. All right, brother. No doubt. Peace.